This is Damon Stevens with FinWealth Builder, and it's May 6, 2021. This is an update on the stock market as well as other financial tools out there. So just wanted to open this up by asking if you made money today. Just so that you know, Leads is up 85%. Ethereum's also doubled. So the classic part did. So just we'll cover those later on, but just hopefully you had a great successful day in the trading. So please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and that way you can get these updates and notices right away when they're posted. Earnings for this week continue. We are heading into the last of the week, so hopefully you've had a good week. And I'm not sure if you've taken advantage of some of the companies and their earnings out there, but several of them seem like they dipped, especially in the technology area. But that provides some good opportunity to buy some things possibly at a bargain. But we did have some good reports today, and we'll cover a couple of those as we go through here. The most notable ones, obviously, is Square, Roku, Peloton. It's a very interesting. They got some interesting things going on right now. AMC, Regeneron, Beyond Meat, Wayfair, GoPro, Datadog. So a lot of big names here today. And coming up on Friday, you have DraftKings and um, Kronos Group and a couple other, Boise Cascade and some others. So it's usually pretty light on Fridays. As you can see, it's usually just before the morning and nothing in the afternoon. So just be aware of those as we get into this earnings season. So let's talk about Roku. It was on the list today, and you can see that on the daily chart here that for today they were below the 200. Roku dropped below the 200 and was selling off. And it didn't matter if they had good earnings or not. There was a good sell-off happening today. But I wanted to show you the after hours because after their earnings report came out, you can see that they had a recovery, that the bulls came in to recover and try to push Roku back up. So you can see this bar here after hours. So it looks like, Roku was headed down, but it looks like the bulls came in and liked the earnings report and it's pushing Roku back up. So hopefully it can, continue to push above the 5 here and drive back through the moving averages back up into a full bullish momentum. But it did drop below that 200 today. So something just to be aware of, and possibly this could be possible good entry back in if it can hold and close a couple days above the 5 EMA and heading north. Peloton. So Peloton, you can see on this daily chart here that they dropped quite a bit before the earnings report. And it looks like they came back up a little bit, recovered a little bit, but Peloton had some really bad news come out. And I don't know if you read about it, but had some issues with equipment recalls that they have going on right now. Pretty broad recall right now. So that's they're taking a little bit of a hit there on the press as well as on the expenses. But just something to be aware of there. But they had knockout earnings, even though they had bad press. So kind of a mixed bag here. So they are below all the moving averages, so something to be aware of. They are below the 200, so that's bearish. So just keep an eye on them. It's been a strong run for this company. They are going to have a little bit of a hiccup right now, I think, in the near term. So as far as earnings, you can see with this update here, we're sitting about 82%, which is a little bit lower than it was. I think it was 83 yesterday. But you see the beats are still high, 1,337 versus the misses of 291. So overall, stocks are strong. They're doing well, and they're having good earnings. So that's good for us and for the stock market. If you look here, the Dow Jones was up 0.93%, so that's great. NASDAQ was up 50%, 50 points, so 0.37%, and the S&P 500 was up 0.82%. So green across the board, and you can see here that pretty much almost all the areas were all lit up. The biggest one standing out here was Tesla, though, as far as being down 1%, were some the bigger names. The other names, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, they were all up over 1%. Also on our list here, as far as top movers today, the top mover was Leads. I don't know if you got a piece of Leads today, but if you're a day trader or scalper, definitely some opportunities there. As this popped up on the board, I definitely jumped all over that, and so we'll cover that chart next. But great day, great scalping and trading day for this stock. So leads you can see here is on a daily chart, kind of what the pattern is, right? You've seen that it had the high prior was 938, and then it dropped back down, had a dip down to as low as $3.02 here, and then last couple of days we just had this explosion back up to $7. Kind of came back down a little bit to around under 6, and then today just a big explosion. I mean, the high up here was 1344 over the 938, so it just blew right through this number. It went up here to the top, and then of course you can see that it retraced back, maybe a little bit over between a third and a half. So you can see the retracement here that came back from that top. But to really see the opportunity, you probably need to look at intraday chart. So let's go ahead and go to a 5-minute chart. You can see here a 5-minute chart, you had multiple entries into this trade. So you can see here the breakout. So you can see the breakout, it's here, right, leveled off. There's an opportunity to get in here, and you can see the volume starting to pick up. Again, it popped up here, settled for just a brief moment, and then it headed back up again, settled out for a brief moment, headed back, and everything's above this, just this 20. Here's the 20 right here. So it didn't even come back to touch the 20. All this run all the way up here to the top. Just stayed between the 5 and the 10. So you can see that it went up. You had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 entries in to getting up to the top here. Did peak out at that 1344, and then it retraced back down. And then we had a little bit of a cooling off. So if you missed this first trade in the morning, and the post didn't go out till on FinViz until later, like halfway through the trade. But even if you missed this whole run up, if you stayed on this one during the day, it dipped back down here, came back and settled back here at almost headed back down towards the 50 here on this last breakout. And then you see it broke out up again and went up to 1192. So that was a nice run there again. So if you're a scalper or a day trader, you'll love this stock today because it gave you another bite at the apple here. And then you can see that it dipped back down again, about that same level. And then it went back up again. And this time it went up to 1317, almost as the high of the day. So I gave you even another chance to get in and get a piece of it. So you can see at this level here, you had this break up here, you had a break up here and here. And then it finally cooled down for the day, towards the end of the day. But man, what a great stock to trade. And it was posted right there on FizViz in the morning. So great resource. Hopefully that's helping you out if you are looking for those type of trades. But these small caps are just really doing us a favor lately. So gotta love that. This is Lex. So Lex was another stock that came from yesterday as well. But you had a little bit of entry this morning here. You had another entry about halfway in, another entry up here. Of course, it came down, settled down, from the morning, kind of rested for a moment, and then up again, even higher to 1885. So you had a few entries up here you could have grabbed a piece of as well, and then dip back down, not as far, about 50% retracement. Rested for a moment, and then back up, not as far as it did before. It kind of came to this resistance level here. At 1845, and then it kind of sold off and rested for the rest of the day. So again, Lex was another great one, not as good as Leads. Leads was ideal, but Lex was good as well. If you wanted to scalp a little bit off of that as well. So if you're a long-term trader, then these might not appeal to you. So more of the large caps probably are, but if you're a small cap trader or you like to scalp, great opportunities today. So the next one is DXY. So this is the dollar index, and you can see the dollar today kind of dropped below all the moving averages. So it came down, and so that should reflect in the SPY going up. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. But weak dollar is great for the stock market. So dollar kind of weakened down around 91. So that's great. That's great news for us as the stock traders to see that weakness there. So if you look at the SPY, you can see the opposite, right? Than we saw on the dollar. So you can see the SPY took off up north, So it gained today about 0.8%, and it settled. It touched the 20 in the morning, just barely, and then it climbed up here, and you can see it just climbed right up here to 419. So it's hovering right in this new channel, this old channel up here. So you had one here that had resistance, here one that found support before breaking through, and now we're back into that upper band, reaching towards the highs of the market. So great. You can see the volume picked up. So it's a small volume day yesterday. Today it picked up and quite a bit and was over the norm. So that's what we want to see. If you want to see a bullish trend, that's what you want to see. You want to see that climb up there. So SPY's looking great, looking more bullish. So that's what we want to see. On the VIX, you can see the VIX kind of just flat. It came up, but now it's just kind of dropped down, and it's kind of pretty much, petered out, and it's definitely under the 20, which is what we want to be able to have the market continue to go up. Triple Qs, NASDAQ, you can see that NASDAQ again climbed. The SPY came and touched it's just right below the 5 still. So it's not real bullish yet, but it's definitely trying to work its way back up. And it's found support here at the 50, and so that's good to see. So we're kind of hovering right between now the 5 and the 50, and so hopefully we can see if we can continue pushing up higher. If we don't, then it could drop back to 325 or down to this 320 range. So just something to be aware of. We'll see how this week closes out. Semiconductors, you see that they had a great day as well. So positive. They're still between the 50 and the 5, but trying to push back up through and just touching right underneath that 5. So that's good to see. IWM, you see the IWM just flat, right? Just hardly can even see that there's a candle there. So pretty much just indecision at this point. It did close above between the 50 and the 5. So it's struggling, but at least it was flat today. Dow Jones, DIA, man, just it's doing great. A lot of strength today, and just continues to extend above now that 5 EMA. So it's looking good. The Dow Jones continues to climb to new highs, so it's good to see. Gold, you can see gold had a good day too. It was a fun day. So if you're holding gold, you're happy today. I mean, not only did it blow over the 1800 level and the 1820 level that we talked about, it's with the last 3 days it's just been straight up. So it's looking really good. It's closing it to new highs. It's at 1820, which is what we talked about the other day. The next level is up. Is to break back again this 1826. Hopefully I head up to 1840. If it does extend too far past this 5, it may come back to revisit. Either the 5 is going to have time to grow and get close to the bottom of that, or this might drop back at some point. So we'll see what the rest of this week brings. But right now, very good, strong, bullish momentum. So that's good to see. Silver, same thing. Today was a great day. Kind of topped over the top of the prior day high and just continues to climb. So silver's looking great. Hopefully we'll continue to see bullish trend there. For Bitcoin is kind of right on the 5, still above the 20, still above the 10 and the 50. So it's hanging in there. It's trying to, obviously it's consolidated here. A lot of indecision, very light volume today. Like there was like nobody in there almost, it looked like, based on the volume today. So it's just kind of sitting there at a decision point of whether it's going to climb higher or if it's going to weaken, start to break down again. So it's just kind of in this channel. You can see this. If I have lines here, let me just go ahead and put the lines in right here so you can see. So you can see that you got this nice channel here, and it came up, broke through it. It's up and down and up and down. So we'll see how long it consolidates, but this helps to build pressure and strength to be able to either break down to the bottom side, or it's going to break up through the top. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. The other one that's great is if you were in Ethereum Classic. Oh my goodness, what a great day! I mean, stocks, small caps, and crypto, great day today. Especially if you're in Ethereum, you doubled your money just in the last few days. Look at where it's come from 27, up to 140. That's just crazy growth for a week. So what a great return. So got to be happy about that. So right now in this next day, so this is start tomorrow, you can see it's kind of flat right on the top there, but still strong, very bullish, extended beyond the 5. The high of today was 175. So it did retrace back, a little bit over, a third, but that's normal. And it looks like it's finding support here. So that's great. So congratulations if you're in Ethereum Classic. You had a great day. So Doge took a little bit of a rest. So you can see yesterday kind of pulled down, and when we did the chart, it was only about 50% retrace. It looks like it retraced a little bit more, and it's kind of settling right down here in the lower third, still over the 5. Doge took a little bit of a rest here. We'll see what happens this weekend with Elon being on TV on SNL. So see if that pushes it forward higher, or if it's going to rest here for a while. If it continues to sit here, then we're going to end up getting into this consolidation channel that it's about to start creating. And if so, then we could just kind of chop right along there for a while. So something to keep an eye on, just to see what it's going to end up doing. So here's the start of your channel. You broke up through, you hit the top, came back down. Now you're kind of resting somewhere in the middle towards the lower part of this. And so you could just bounce up and down before you break down, or you're going to break up through. So just something to be aware of with Doge. But Doge, look at this run. And so this run was really strong. Going back to Ethereum Classic, it had a great run. You could see some retracement here too. Look at the 5. The 5's clear down here. So you could see that same retracement that you see on Doge, or it could just continue. You could just continue going up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on Friday. So Cureleaf. So if you're in pot stocks, you can see that you just have some consolidation continuing on here. There's a little channel here. We'll just go ahead and draw that out so you can see that we're just consolidating here back and forth. So we'll see how long it has to do that before it finds enough strength to either climb out of this, or if it's going to break down and come back and revisit, with the possibly coming down to the 50 or the 20 to find some strength so it can try to bust back through again. So we'll just kind of monitor that and see what's going on. Tesla, down day, 3 down days in a row. But, it's creating basically a little bit of a channel here, you can see. And it's very tight range too, very tight range channel. But you see you had a lot of that here in the past too. So we'll see if it is enough to get it to break back up, or if it's going to break down. It's hard to say right now, but at least from on the surface, it looks like it's weakening. And if it does weaken, you can see they come back down to this 590 range, could come down to the 577, 578 range as well, where the 200 is sitting, or down to 520 if it really collapses. But my guess here is it's probably going to be close to 600. It's probably, if it comes down to rest, 600, maybe 620. If it can find strength here and bust back out, then it's got to go back through all the moving averages. So there's going to be a lot of resistance. But Tesla breaks through things like butter. So if it decides it wants to be bullish, I think it'd be easy for it to come back up, try to retest, get over the 700, 720 range. And if it does, 740, you can see just a little bit a while ago, we got back up to 780. So very possible, but it's also possible that we could take a rest here, especially what we've been seeing in the market. So some things to be aware of, some stocks to hopefully look at, some possible trading opportunities for you. If you're in great trades, congratulations. If you're struggling, then either you need to obviously show that patience, or have that emotional control to hold out for the long term, and to continue to gain skills that are going to help you to strengthen your skill set if you're a day trader or swing trader or a scalper. So hopefully you found this video helpful for you. And if you do, please come to our channel, subscribe, so we can continue providing this content to you throughout the weeks, and help you to hopefully find great trading opportunities. Everybody have a great day, and safe trade. Safe trading.